It's hump day.
Welcome to another Wednesday.
Another Wednesday. Last Wednesday for us, though.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Or, well, we got to tell them what we're talking about, though.
Yep. So, yeah, today is the last hump day episode. We are moving, as we announced last week, and we'll remind everybody again this week, we are officially moving to Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we are, we're filling in. Basically, we're taking over Scott's Thirsty Thursday trivia slot because he had to move his due to work. So it just works out, right? Because we move ours
because of work
into his spot because of work. So
yep.
We got a person in.
Yeah. Sweet.
So welcome in, Carnival cruise addicts.
Whoop whoop! Here's some
Hey.
words. Welcome in.
Hello.
Well, thank you for coming in. So today
we have an unusual topic.
A very unusual topic, a last minute topic, because somebody, me, double booked the topic that we did last time. Because we had an extra month when we did this in February.
I think he means an extra week.
An extra week.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we had an extra week. And I moved the shore excursion talk back there and forgot about it. And so we realized a couple of days ago that
We've already
talked about shore excursions.
I don't want to talk about them again.
Ryan just wanted to add another month to the year, so I had an extra month to enjoy, not being able to walk.
Right.
Correct. So today's topic, once we get in there, is going to be basically cruise ship and ships in general superstitions.
And traditions.
And we'll kind of touch base a little bit and then see where we go from there. So I guess the other thing to announce, and we'll probably announce it again in a later part towards the end, is we are taking part in the Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube Marathon.
Yep. So
our slot is going to do 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern time. So bring your coffee.
On Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday.
Definitely bring your coffee.
So bring your coffee. We don't have a lot as far as official topics. I know we are going to talk a little bit about HH4C. And then, you know what? We'll use that time to chat about shore excursions. Not like shore excursions about like we talked last time, but pick everyone's brain, because Mel and I have a cruise coming up in July. You guys have the northern cruise coming up in September. You've got like one or two planned, but that's it. So we can just talk about what are people's favorite excursions, or hey, you know what? Tell us where you want us to go or what you want us to film and bring to you in a vlog series. Because, other than going to Celebration Key on the Vista, we don't really have a lot planned for Bonaire or Aruba. So anyway, that'll be Saturday's topic. But yeah, I digress. Let's get on with today's topic.
Don't just bring any coffee. Bring your Dunkin'. Because PKAT runs on Dunkin'.
PKAT runs on Dunkin'.
Except in January when Starbucks has the pistachio latte. For 1 month, we allow that stuff.
Yeah.
1 month.
Or when we have Tim Hortons, or I guess this Moose Munch that you got.
I have Moose Munch right now.
That's what she said.
Good, yeah.
All right. Well, as we see people post in the chat, obviously we're going to welcome you guys all in. It looks like we got a couple of people watching, but they could be on smart devices or watching on TV. So,
yep.
Let's move on.
We have a poll running on.
Oh, yes. We do have a poll with some of the superstitions that are out there.
Right.
That we'll be talking about today. So
I actually had to research this because I wasn't sure, because this is a topic I was trying to educate myself on. Yeah.
So we are all about learning about this. So let's start with number one. Number one.
Hold on.
Is wait, hold the phone.
Hey, Vicky.
Yep, and cut. So hopefully you got everything worked out, Vicky. I know StreamYard was giving you a problem with your camera in one browser this morning. So hopefully you got all that worked out. Also, it's officially Liz who acts as CCA. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was Chris or Liz. So
Yeah.
So Liz taking the reins, kind of like me taking the reins every time you see PKAT out there. So, yeah, so our first superstition. Who would like to tell us about our first superstition?
Our first superstition. Well, I think the most popular superstition is no deck 13.
That's the only one that came to mind immediately for me.
That's like my number one that I thought of too.
Yep. Yep. And it's funny because you see that not only on cruise ships, but you see it most of the times in hotels that are over, 13 decks. 13 decks. Here I am using nautical terms.
Wow.
13 stories. But yeah, there's no deck 13. That's how much of a superstition it is just generally.
And that's just that's like ships across the world too.
Mhm.
Like European ships too.
Yeah.
Have you?
So
Kristine says she's seen one somewhere. She just doesn't know where.
I've seen it somewhere too, but it's not as popular.
That's what I
I
thought.
feel like she might have been sailing through the Twilight Zone.
No. No.
well, those are watching and are able to comment, have you been on a cruise? And if so, which cruise line was it and what ship, if you can recall, that actually had a deck 13?
Right.
So
Here's another fun fact though.
Yeah.
I want to say that I might have seen that somewhere as well.
I just don't know where.
And if I did, it's either MSC,
No.
Princess,
No.
Royal,
Yes.
or Carnival, because those are the only
Those
four
are the four you've been on. So I mean,
that I've been on, and
Well, since 3 out of 4 of us saw it, it was on Royal.
it had to have been one of the
After
Royal
we
ships then,
cruised close
maybe.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a Chat GBT answer because I see that same thing.
Trixidophobia, fear, or dislike of the number
Yeah.
13. All right then.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see it on the hotels either.
Yeah. As the Ghostbusters say, everyone, all the original staff knows about the rumors of the 12th floor.
Okay.
That's where they found Slimer for the first time.
It's very obscure reference, man. I don't know if everyone got that one.
Probably not, but if you're an original Ghostbusters fan, then you know.
You know.
So,
But also, some Asian lines skip deck 4 as well.
really?
Yes. And says
She's-
because it sounds like death in Mandarin.
Really?
Interesting.
So that was the part of what I kind of came up with.
So Asian lines will skip deck 4 because of the pronunciation and how close to death.
Yep.
Death. It sounds.
That's
But yeah, that's the most
kind of
common
interesting,
one.
actually.
Yeah. So in other words, you get on one of their cruises and you start to talk about deck 4, and they're like,
Oh hell no!
Wow, did you really plan that out? Were you just dying to use that? You were.
no, that's me thinking on my feet, man. I was like, ooh, I got a sound for that. So yeah, that's interesting. Deck 4 in Asia and deck 13 worldwide.
In the rest of civilized society.
So
Yes.
the second one that I came up with was bananas.
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 And I know they're not here.
On cruise ships.
Yep.
I know they're not here, but
Do you want a banana?
Not on a cruise
Feel
ship.
it down.
They could be lurking,
they could be.
Bananas.
Chicken.
Yep.
But
Bananas.
Chicken. Bananas.
Yep. And we all know that if bananas are, a problem, then every cruise ship has got a problem.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
what's the basis behind that? Because I've seen them on pretty much every ship I've been on.
Yep. You want to read it? You want me to read it?
I'll let you read it. Go ahead.
All right. So the banana thing originated from a Caribbean trade routes. So ships carrying bananas often had bad luck, where their food spoiled more quickly than normal. They found poisonous spiders that would stow away and sting people. And you see this more and more, and I've seen it before on one of the fishing shows that I've watched, where fishing vessels specifically do not have bananas.
It checks out.
Could it be one of those shows where you catch things that are the deadliest type?
I don't think it was that. I actually think it was the Outer Banks, the bluefin tuna or whatever it was.
Okay, okay.
I think it's the wicked tuna. Because there was a group that played a prank on another boat and hid like 5 or 6 bananas around, and that boat started having bad luck, and then they started finding the bananas.
Interesting. I mean, I've heard about the banana spider things. Those spiders bite you. You can get an erection for like 6 hours.
What?
And then you die. That's
What?
totally dead sick. Google that up. The poisonous spiders that live in those bananas.
Okay.
I mean, you could take on 2 or 3 chicks, I hear, without a problem, but you're dead by morning.
Hey, you guys. I think he's full of malarkey.
Probably. Hey, Scotty, thanks for coming in.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, I know, right? We're going to have to really look that up and see if that's true.
Yeah.
Now everybody who's watching this is going to start searching and seeing if that's true or not.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought too. People slipping like on the decks with the banana peels. That's what I originally thought.
But I
Yeah.
can understand not having them on ships that have go-karts, because I would definitely throw one. It'd be like, dude,
Put it in the tailpipe.
Mario Kart.
Mario. Me, Mario. Yeah, so I could definitely see banning bananas on those ships.
Yes.
Same with
Yeah.
turtle shells. I wouldn't bring turtle shells on those ships.
Well, we don't like turtles right now anyways.
Yeah, I know.
Land turtles. Sea
Oh.
turtles are okay. Land turtles are not our friends right now.
Yeah, friends-
Right.
Friends
Yes.
off.
Especially gopher turtles.
Totally friends off. Until I
Yes.
can walk again. Remind me to stop saying they're so cute in my backyard.
That's right.
That's right. They're not cute.
They're
They're
not
the devil in disguise.
They're expensive to remove.
I
you
know.
I know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, if the evil developers didn't keep tearing up the woods, they wouldn't have to relocate them.
We
If it
learned
weren't for
of a
evil
new
developers,
gopher-
some of us wouldn't be employed.
We
Yeah.
learned of a new gopher turtle sanctuary this weekend.
So you want to go? Can I just go look at them and then I want to break one of their legs?
That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
How'd you like it if I built a hole and you fell in it?
I'm just gonna turn them upside down and watch how long it takes them to turn over.
6 hours and out. 6 hours and out. Oh wait, I hit the wrong button. Wow, don't hate the turtle.
That's right, Vicky. 6 hours and you're done.
All right.
Okay, anyways.
Oh. Cruising with Calandra.
Whoop,
Hey,
whoop.
Tony, hey.
Hello there.
Welcome in, Tony.
All right, were you ready for another one?
Sure. What's next? What's
We
next?
still have time.
Whistling on deck.
Whistling.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
I
like
did not know that either.
with like a fife and like, or like
Well, in the maritime
You can't whistle while you work.
words,
I was gonna say, how do you whistle while you work? While you
You
swap?
can't.
whistling on deck was believed to whistle up the wind
Oh, interesting.
and
Yes.
possibly bring storms.
That clearly must go back to a time when these ships were wind driven.
Yes.
You also risk drawing in the angry spirits of the sea.
Yes.
Oh,
Interesting.
So no whistling on deck.
That's right.
Could you do it below decks?
You know what? I guess as long as it's not heard by the gods and you're in the lower decks, then sure, why not?
So if you're down in steerage, you can whistle while you're shoveling the coal.
Yes. Day is never finished.
That's okay. They don't need
Sound of the
whistling. They
fight.
just have to have the DJ on the board.
Jane, gang.
Yep. Yes. So have we. I've heard. Hopefully that was off key enough to not have Disney copyright us.
No, forget it. They're already on your doorstep.
Yeah.
Knock. You use the whistle while you work, and we're gonna have to charge you $5 billion.
Yes,
Mm.
exactly.
Well,
For
apparently it's still in effect because more modern ships obviously still observe this.
Yep.
Because it's rooted so deep
Interesting.
in the tradition.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I hope we get to some mermaid theories.
I don't have mermaid
Well,
on my list.
You can't stand on the back of the ship
Oh, yes.
after dark
After dark alone. Because
alone
yes.
because
the mermaid will come up and steal you.
and steal you from the back of the ship,
Yeah.
or you could get kidnapped.
You could get CJ napped.
No. Haven't you seen all those shows? Like, my daughter went on a cruise and never came home.
No.
I worked on the Disney Cruise Line.
It's a Hallmark movie?
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
No, it's documentaries. Did you
Oh.
know
It's a Netflix says you'll like this.
Disney Cruise Lines has the #1 employee gone missing while working on their cruise ship of all the cruise lines?
I'm pretty sure it's just because they turn into little wooden puppets like Pinocchio and get
That's
sent to
true.
that work camp.
That's true, but now Disney's gonna knock on your door. Thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably are.
That is possible.
Disney police.
They don't knock like that. It's more magical.
It's
Yeah,
more magical.
definitely.
Oh my goodness. All right, so some other superstitions. You've got the lucky coin, in your pocket.
Yep.
So
Never heard of that one.
I haven't heard of that one either, but I guess for
You know,
good
Boy
luck.
Scouts had the Boy Scouts had a coin
Mhm.
type token that you earned and you were supposed to keep, both to remember the oaths and for luck. So, I mean, that's
The military has
the
lucky
military
coins,
has
too.
them too.
Yeah,
from what
yeah.
I recall. So that
Pipe Band has the challenge coin, and if you don't have your coin win challenge, then you're the one buying the beer. So
Yeah.
So, I guess seeing as how military has its scouts, those all take their bases from, or those are all military. Most sailing, before, obviously commercial such was military based. So I can see where that, tradition can hold on.
Well, this
yeah.
actually originated from the Romans and Greeks.
We're just happy to see you.
Actually, it's the banana.
Bazinga.
That's what she said.
Yeah, basically it goes back to Roman and Greek shipbuilding. That's where it was pretty much founded. It was offerings made to Poseidon and Neptune.
Depending on which side you were on, Greek or Roman.
Yeah. Yeah,
Same
exactly.
guy.
Right.
But
Yep.
it was supposed to offer protection. That's basically what it's the back history on it.
Yep.
You know what also offered protection? A shield.
Yes, we know.
We know.
We know. We know. We know. We know.
You got a shield.
I said a shield. I didn't say a Trojan.
Now, here's one that's on the list, so I don't know if you've looked it up anymore, but there's a superstition among guests about crossing fingers during embarkation.
No, I
like,
didn't.
like cross your
Yeah.
finger, a wish type of cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
like
cross
crossing
your
fingers, I guess,
line.
for good luck as you're heading off to sea to be able to return.
No, I don't know.
No, I definitely would never have thought of that, because to me, crossing your fingers is what you do when you're lying.
No,
Right.
no. It's for good luck or to make a wish, but you can only cross one hand. If you do more than once, it
It
Yes.
X-nays.
Other
It
out.
nullifies
Yep.
the other.
yes.
Okay.
Welcome in, Danny. Thanks for stopping by.
Hey.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
Now Disney's gonna come be knocking on your
Now
door.
they're going to come knocking on
That's
my
it.
door.
You've definitely exceeded your usage of their property, IP property.
And then when they come here, I'll have to do this.
Okay,
Oh man, you are getting it. Guys, if you don't see us for that Saturday morning event coming up, you'll know that we're all in Disney jail.
We got kidnapped by the mouse.
I'm
Okay, so
behaving,
what about-
Danny. Yes, it's CJ who's not behaving tonight.
I've only made like 4 inappropriate jokes. I mean, I'm not doing
Yeah.
pretty.
And then another one about knocking on cabin doors before entering. I haven't heard that, but obviously that's some sort of superstition.
That's just
About-
manners.
So
I was gonna say, is that
No,
good
they're
manners?
talking about knocking on the door before you enter.
Well, that's
Right?
usually
Oh.
what happens. If
No.
I'm going to enter a room, I knock on the door.
No, silly. You get to your room, you knock on the door, and then you enter.
Oh,
Is
your
that-
personal room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Never heard
I
of
don't know
What if
why.
somebody knocks back? Are you supposed to go in?
Yeah,
that. Maybe it's to scare the ghosts. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, here's another one. Renaming ships.
Oh,
It's
that's
supposed to be
bad.
That's bad.
Oh, that's bad.
Right?
Whoa! It doesn't matter what ship it is. That
That
Yeah, it
too.
doesn't matter if
Listen,
it's a dinghy.
yeah,
Don't
I don't
rename it.
I don't care if it's a paper boat on your lake, that you made with newspaper. No, named. It's named.
Yeah.
Yes, Liz.
Knocking on Evan's door.
Kevin's
That's Virgin Cruise Line.
But I wonder, not to give, not to put Carnival underneath the bus, but because we're going back on Carnival and we do like them, but they have this,
But they're not
ever persistent need to change the name of their ships. I mean, the
Well-
Sunshine, used to be the Destiny, and then it got changed to something else, and then
I mean,
they've
Royal did
changed the
that.
names a lot.
Yeah, Royal did that with some of their older ships too. That I recall. My parents insist that I've been on ships with name A, and I've now since been on them renamed B, but I don't know the details. My parents
Right.
have encyclopedic memory of these things that I don't
But-
have.
Don't you, when you have to hold a new ceremony to blast the ship to
Well,
Yeah.
you have
Next
a-
Get rid of the bad
bad
juju
juju.
when you change the
Yeah.
name.
They
Uh-oh.
saved that ship.
Uh-oh. Troublemakers in. Troublemakers
It's
in.
got to be Scott.
Oh.
Scott! And the angels were pleased.
Oh my god.
All right.
But yes. So all right. So let's. So that's again a couple of just the superstitions.
Wait, I got one more.
Oh, you got one more
Oh, yeah,
superstition?
okay.
Like superstition, not tradition.
Superstition.
Superstition. Okay.
No women on board.
Yes.
I mean,
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
I-
My pocketbook would be a lot lighter. My sign and sale count would be a lot cheaper.
But your bed would be colder.
I'm not really down for a sausage party, buddy. So I don't know that I can uphold that one. If all the pineapples were right side up, it would be very boring.
Well, do you guys have any of your own personal superstitions?
I mean, I do.
Superstition.
I wouldn't say superstitions.
mean,
Traditions, yes.
Tradition, yes, not
But not
Well, we're not
superstition.
there yet.
Yeah, I have no superstition.
What are yours, babe?
My superstition is I will not take the last anything off of the buffet.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
How long's it been
And
sitting there?
mine,
Why did it continue to get picked over by everyone?
Exactly. Why is this one potato skin left here? Why is this one fluffy little, I don't know, fuzzy little whatever it might be? Exactly. If it's there and it's the last one, not
But
touching.
they usually take the last one and then put it in the new tray, though.
That's different. They did it. I did it.
Okay.
It's a whole
Okay.
different story. So, all right, what's yours, babe?
So my friends and people who cruise with me often know I have to spend a minute in the casino to find the perfect machine
Oh, while it's closed.
while it's closed
Yeah, she has to go in there and feel the energies, if you
of
will.
the machines.
That's
while
right.
The
Feel
casino
the
guys.
juju. Yeah.
to get
feel
the juju. Exactly. But then that's it. That's the machine I'm playing the whole cruise. Do not move or you will not win.
I have somebody
Yeah, you-
else.
And if someone else is on it, it's tainted. That's
Someone
your
else is on it,
machine.
you smack them upside the head and say, "Didn't you see my fingerprint on this?"
I left my set sail card in here on purpose.
Exactly. Oh, and I have a lucky duck.
Oh, that's true. She brings a lucky duck.
Oh, that's a tradition.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, look at people play bingo. They've got lucky trolls and lucky blotters and lucky
Oh yeah,
lights.
and they got the whole table set
Yeah,
up. And
yeah,
everything.
exactly. Yeah, here's
Yeah.
an 8-person table for one person, A, because they need 6 people for their cards, and another 2 seats for all their, superstitious junk.
Right.
All right.
But that's cool. That's cool that that you have
That's
something.
my tradition or my
So
Your
last superstition or maybe tradition as well is like the champagne on the ship when you have the naming ceremony and the godmother or the godfather, whoever
True,
is
true.
christening.
That's
So that's kind of a tradition
slash
Yeah.
superstition.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
not
because
with naval or with vessels. I mean, that's
That's
done
all
with
boats.
that's done with all ships. That's done
Yeah.
on airplanes too, from what I understand. At least on a new model or a new type that's being released. I've done it on a car.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's
I
fairly
didn't work out for the car.
with boats in general.
When I bought my first brand new car, I broke a bottle of cheap, $3.99 Wallbaum's, which is a company that's no longer around. Wallbaum's champagne or sparkling wine, on the hub.
And we did every boat we had growing up, from the catamaran to, our big, bayliner to our fishing boat. We did that. So that's
I don't really know
pretty
what
common.
I don't know what the significance of doing
It's
it
just
was.
to christen
Well,
Christen
but
your boat.
what's the significance of needing to christen a vessel?
Nothing. It's like a celebration.
It's like a blessing.
I mean,
well, I know that
wouldn't it be a lot
people
more
say
fun?
you get bad juju if the bottle doesn't break, and I've seen a couple of cruise ships
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they've let the bottle go and it doesn't break, it bounces off, and they have to do it
Yeah.
again. And everyone's like, "Oh, that ship's jinxed now."
No, that must be the ships on MSC.
They're getting better. They're getting better.
They are. They really are. It's true.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
What else you got?
Traditions.
Well, traditions.
Yes.
So, who likes to start with traditions?
Well, do we want to talk about any traditions
Because some
Our
are
traditions?
specific, I would think.
of cruise lines? Yeah, because like one of the four of us traditions is we always, when we're together, have to have one night where four of us are coordinating and we do our picture. That's totally a tradition of ours.
Oh yeah, so we do a tradition of
Matching outfits.
Mhm.
photo done.
Yeah. Another tradition, or maybe it's not a tradition, but I think it is now. Or maybe it's more of a rule. No pictures at the dinner table
For us.
for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, we don't do that
We
anymore
made
either.
that into our own thing to make it like a tradition.
Yeah, because we don't like to have our pictures taken while we're eating dinner. Dinner time is when we like
Is
to have our
dinner time.
conversation and talk and everything. And if we want pictures, we go seek them out.
Exactly.
Right.
Because during dinner, there's all sorts of stuff on our shirts. At least me and Ryan, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's
Marinara.
one of those, get up and walk around the table. No, I'm eating.
Bananas Foster.
Yeah, marinara,
Some chicken noodle.
reduced red wine sauce.
Yeah.
But as far as cruise line traditions, I mean, there's a formal night, right? That's traditional. Every
Sure.
cruise
Yeah.
line you're on,
Yeah.
And
there's going to be a fortnight.
some form of a white party
Yeah.
Yep, yeah.
There's always a sailaway party.
of some
Yeah.
sort. Yeah,
Of
rain
some
or
sort.
shine.
Yep.
There's
And do you
always-
know the significance, though, of the white party?
No.
Keep it,
yeah.
keep it.
And-
Don't
and
go
no,
there.
sorry. I got nothing.
Go ahead
for
and
you.
explain it to us, babe.
No. So the tradition of the white party is actually positivity, peace, and harmony. White for purity, all that stuff. So that's really what the tradition is
The white
behind the white party.
Have you
Inspired
seen
by-
how many upside down pineapples are on those ships?
Oh yeah.
Now I know
I'm
why.
saying that's technically the history behind the white party.
Well, actually, there's another reason I don't go. White is not a slimming color for me. So.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're usually at nighttime too.
Yeah, but then they got the glow lights and other, and stuff
But
like
that's
that.
cool.
Just accentuates my my curves.
Yeah. I would say one of the other traditions for most cruise lines as well, although we haven't eaten in main dining room in a long time, is generally the waiter, the parade, if you will, where the waiters
yeah.
go around and they sing or they dance or something like that.
They're dancing and they're clapping
there's
and they're
usually
dancing
one.
on the
Not done in a
tables.
while.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't remember the
It's
last
been a
time I
while
actually
since
saw
I've
that
seen
done.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you, one of the biggest traditions on Carnival that we'll actually be able to here, if we're in the main dining room, is the last night. All the waiters and staff come out and they sing the "You're leaving our fun ship. We don't know when you'll be back again."
I can't wait to hear that.
So that one's always sad because it means, like instead of "You're leaving," "You're leaving our fun ship. We don't know when
Yeah,
you'll
that's
be
exactly
back again."
That's exactly the song I would have imagined plagiarizing for it.
That's exactly what it is. So
I mean, it's better than hearing "Perfect Day" of Coco
No,
K
Perfect
6
Day.
times.
I
My
love
goodness.
that because that means we're on the ship and we're about to go on Coco K.
I can't.
all you have to do is watch the vlog where I sing it for like 5 minutes, and Mel's like, "Honey,
Shut
shut
up.
up."
Yeah, I mean, literally, I actually ripped the radio out of the car the last time that song came on. Yeah.
No, you didn't. That was on my breakdance playlist.
No, it was horrible.
I put it on there for her.
Her phone out the car.
I like that
Yep.
song.
I'll tell you another tradition that I have always liked as well: towel animals. I
Oh,
always
yeah.
like seeing
Those
what
are fun.
creativity was happening that day.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I have to say, Carnival does it better than any other cruise line I've seen.
When it comes to towel animals.
Talent, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're waking up to go eat your morning coffee and you go across Lido Deck. Yeah, Lido Deck. And
Yes.
every
Oh,
chair
yeah.
has a
No,
towel
no,
animal.
Lido Deck on Carnival and Princess.
Okay.
But yeah, every recliner has the towel animals, and they even have like full size ones that look like people are sitting in the chairs. Or
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they use the
it's-
beach towels, so when people wanted to,
Yeah.
sit down, they just unravel it. So it's already there.
Destroy someone's piece of art. That sounds like a Carnival
Yeah.
fan.
Oh, my.
only you would twist it that way.
Calling it as I see it.
Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
tell you one thing that used to be a tradition that I truly do miss, and that's the midnight buffets.
Oh, yeah.
Where they would go all out, extravagant ice, sculptures, and then sculpting things in the watermelons and
Yep.
creating works of art out of rolled meats and cheeses. And that used to be amazing. 11 to midnight was take all your pictures, and then midnight until they closed down was like, all right, eat everything.
Yep, it was like till like 2 sometimes.
And I really miss that tradition. And from what I understand, though, some of the Carnival journeys bring that back one night. They bring back that midnight buffet kind of thing. So
Cool. That's cool.
Yep.
but pretty cool tradition with that.
But one other tradition that's on every ship because it's law is your muster drill.
Yeah.
I don't know that I call it. I don't know that I call that a tradition.
A requirement. How about that? I was trying to be
Yeah.
nice. It's your
Tradition is
tradition.
something- that's a requirement. I have a hard time calling it traditional.
But it has changed since COVID, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it's a lot easier. You don't have to have your vest on, and you don't have to go to your actual lifeboat. You just meet at a certain place, and you just answer the questions, and you sign off the liability, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Here, hold no harm. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Now, what about personal traditions? I know we started with some of that. What was that? Oh, sorry, that was Peachy's tail hit me. I was wondering
I
what that
know
was.
one of my old traditions that I can't do anymore because they're not allowed there anymore is when I go get my welcome on board, drink of the day, and then my second one, so I can have 2 umbrellas and take my little photo. I can't do it anymore because they don't have the little umbrellas anymore.
Yeah, Mel and I, when we would get on Carnival, that was our tradition. Starting with the very first one in '99 on the Paradise, we'd get 2 drinks of the day, and she'd take a picture with the 2 umbrellas in each hand, and that was our traditional photo up until they stopped doing that. With the whole it's hurts the environment when they fly over the side of the ship and stuff like
They
that.
should make them
So
disposable.
if those umbrellas were so bad for the environment, I wouldn't want them sitting in my drink either. God knows what they were doing to you guys.
Yep. So that was one of ours.
That was mine.
No, you and me when we cruise.
Yeah, I don't have any.
We unpack.
Well, you unpack. I
You
don't
unpack.
Oh.
Yeah, you do.
CJ lives out of the suitcase. He doesn't unpack.
Not unless it's 5 days or more. Then I'll unpack. But if it's a weekender, forget it. You're lucky I even bring clothes.
One of the other things that Mel and I do then, since you guys aren't sharing,
Oh,
is
I don't have anything else.
Embarkation Day. We always count down right before we step on the ship, and it's like 3, 2, 1, and then we hop off the walkway, and we're like, we're on vacation.
Yeah.
That's one of our traditions as well.
We bring work on vacation too much to think
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
It's like 3, 2, 1. Oh, where's the Wi-Fi? I got to check on something.
Well, you
Yeah.
also have the traditional 80s party.
Yeah,
Wait.
if there's theme parties sometimes.
Theme party.
Yeah.
It took me 20-something cruises to get Ryan to dress up for those.
And the one time I dress up for it, I'm thinking in my mind it's going to be like the 80s glow party on Carnival. And it was a bunch of sticks in the mud, and we were the only ones dressed up on the Utopia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great picture, though.
Yeah, but it's a different type of ship. Different people are cruising on that ship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but my expectations were not what they,
Not what
It
they
was not what it was hyped up to
yeah.
be. It was not what we thought it was going to be. There, Royal was trying to say it's the party ship, it's the weekend party. It was a Royal Caribbean ship that just did 3 and 4 day sailings.
Right.
That's what it was.
Maybe when it first came out, it was a little bit more party-ish, but no.
Yeah, but I was not feeling that party vibe that the advertisements were saying that it was going to be. But like you said, it's the clientele.
Carnival.
Yeah,
We were expecting
On the
Carnival.
water with stuff on the wall.
that's what I was expecting, was the Carnival shenanigans with all the glow sticks and people all in their pink spandex like we were. And I was like, yeah, there's nobody in pink.
I'm sure all that spandex was bad for the environment too.
Yeah.
All right, so
Royal's a little more upscale.
Oh, by comparison, yeah.
Yeah.
Upscalier.
failure.
I'm really trying to think, is there anything else that I do?
I mean, we always go early, like way before we're supposed to get there, and kind of hang out in the area of the port before we go.
It's not a tradition, that's your paranoia. Be there 3 hours before the ship, but you like to be there early, beat traffic, and hang around. So I was like,
Beep beep. The wheels on the bus always go round and round.
Back it up.
I'm just saying, I don't need to.
Yeah, you do.
I don't need to be there quite. as
He's
early.
the one getting me up super early to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning to go places, guys.
I mean,
For
yeah.
us, we're just super excited, so we wake up super early just because the adrenaline. You're like, oh, it's cruise day.
Yeah.
So,
I packed 3 weeks before.
Right, we do.
Yeah.
We do
do.
the
Stuff's been-
3
we
3
packed
days.
before. The
3
stuff's
days
been in the
before.
car for 3 days.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
packed 3 weeks before, true.
Yeah.
Stuff's been in the car for 3 days, and we always pack the morning of the last full day so we can just enjoy the rest of the cruise.
That's true. There's a tradition for me.
that's a tradition. Yes.
Exactly. With at least one full calendar day of cruise left, I need to be organized so that I can chillax the rest of my time and not have a rush in the morning.
Our tradition's the exact opposite. The latest we can pack on the last night of the cruise, because in Mel's mind, packing signifies it's over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you got to go home early to get it done. We don't.
Yeah. Like, oh, I gotta go. It's 8:45. I better go to bed. I still haven't packed to leave.
I have to get my beauty sleep if I have to get up super early to get off the ship the next morning.
Well,
So
if you had packed
it
that morning
works.
before, you wouldn't have to worry about that. You'd have
Exactly.
You'd have more good time, fun time.
More fun time.
All righty. Well, you know what? Before we continue with traditions or move on to the next topic, we have an important announcement for everyone. Watch this.
Attention all adventurers and travel lovers. Are you ready to embark on the ultimate getaway? Join PK Adventure Travels for an unforgettable group cruise aboard the brand new MSC World America, a ship that redefines luxury and adventure on the high seas. This is a 7-night Caribbean cruise departing from vibrant Miami, Florida on November 22nd, 2025. Imagine spending Thanksgiving week surrounded by turquoise waters, warm sunshine, and breathtaking destinations. Here's what's in store. Explore the tropical paradise of Roatan, Honduras. Discover the stunning beauty of Costa Maya, Mexico. Dive into the vibrant culture and crystal clear waters of Cozumel, Mexico, and enjoy pure relaxation on MSC's private island, Ocean Cay, where white sand beaches and exclusive experiences await. You don't want to miss this opportunity to cruise, connect, and create memories with like-minded travelers. Whether you're looking for adventure, relaxation, or both, this cruise has it all. Spaces are limited, and this is your chance to sail with PK Adventure Travels and experience the Caribbean like never before. Call now or visit us online to reserve your spot. The countdown to your dream vacation starts now.
All right, we're back. Without
no.
rain.
I'm back. Peachy was just yipping at me, and I gave her a little begging strap.
Now, you thought 40 seconds was enough to go to the bathroom. It's okay. I get it. I tried it too and then realized it wasn't.
A minute and 14 seconds, actually.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely still not enough.
Nope. But yes, so again, if you guys want to get on, reach out to Mel and I. I actually checked yesterday, and the interior rooms are still about $350 cheaper per person, and the balcony rooms are roughly $400 cheaper per person than the going rate. So, I mean, if you want to get on the World America, the brand new ship, let us know. Let us know.
We're going to be doing a ship tour in a couple weeks. Get a little, sneak peek.
Sneak peek, absolutely.
And it's not too early to start thinking about the holidays.
Nope.
Be sure to taste the food. Taste as much of the food as you can for me on that, please.
Yes. When we were when
we were on the previous MSC ship,
yes.
It was a so-so kind of meal.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping and anticipating this one to be better since it's newer.
Yes. And we've already heard from a few of our franchisee at Expedia. She went to the inaugural and tasted some stuff and said that it was very good. Yep. So we're looking forward to seeing. She said they have absolutely, as the advertisement was putting the spin in kind of taking the MSC, but then enhancing it to fit the American style cruising like the other lines. And she said you could definitely see that in the World America. So,
cool.
So looking forward to that.
Oh, I have a couple more traditions that I've seen in the most recent years.
Okay.
Kind of develop. So one being the rubber duckies that everybody hides.
Cruising ducks.
Yes. I don't remember that when we first started cruising.
No, it was not there when we first started. I mean, Facebook was barely alive when we first started. Actually, MySpace might have been out at the time we started cruising.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one tradition that I've seen recently.
Yeah, back then it was still the Facebook.
Yes.
AOL.
Or you've got mail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the second one I've seen recently is decor for your door. So I don't remember that either.
Decor.
Like
decor.
Room decor, like on your door and all of that stuff.
She said a core. I'm like, an apple core? Like, why would you put an apple core on your door?
Decor.
Apple core. Baltimore.
But I thought some cruise lines were really starting to restrict you doing that.
They are.
They are. You can only do it like on the door itself because people were going crazy and doing it all around the frame and all on the walls.
Yeah. They're tapes pulling off paint and causing damage and stuff. Yeah. I don't know if that one's going to survive too much longer, with the crack.
I don't think they're going to take it away. I think they just needed to control or put some parameters around it and, trying to box people in getting too crazy out there.
Yeah, because let's face it, we've been on some cruises where it's everywhere. And they got the frilly stuff and they got the liners all hanging down in front of the door and they outline the whole wall with sparklers and
I thought it was cool, but
so
my favorite door decor ever that we've ever seen was when we were on the Alaska cruise and the parents had the little Mr. Potato Hat outside the door and everybody walked by and changed his face. You guys remember that?
I actually do remember that.
That's funny.
That was my favorite.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
But I don't know of any other traditions that kind of start. I know a lot of traditions have gone away, like you said, the midnight buffet and that stuff.
And formal night's still there, but it's nowhere near, at least on the contemporary lines, it's nowhere near what it was back in the day.
Correct. Yeah, it's become a much more casual
Mhm.
business. You know, let's call it smart casual. Even it's
Smart
you know,
casual, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
more resort wear.
it's definitely
Yeah.
it's resort wear even is acceptable in many cases.
And I'll be the first to admit that I like the change, because the more that I go on cruises, and the more it's like it's my vacation. I don't want to be in a zoot suit all day long, on formal. I mean, you guys know now it's like we get in our quote formal wear, which is just a button down, nice shirt and a pair of long khakis, literally for pictures, dinner, and then we go change back into our knockaround club.
Yeah.
Where when we first cruised, you were in a tuxedo for, starting at 4:00 for pictures. When
All
you
the
were
way-
done at the end of the night is when
so
you changed.
you out.
Yeah.
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 So
Now, if they figured out how to way to air condition the outside decks on the ship, I could go back to wearing that. But
They do when they move, they're air conditioning it.
yeah, no, it's not adequate.
How about the silent parties? That's become a new tradition.
That is true. That's a new tradition that actually is pretty cool, because you don't hear boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Which is the
10
only
o'clock
reason
at night.
to go to the club anyway. So
here's the thing, though. Every silent disco I've been to,
You've been to one.
every silent disco that I've been to has no 80s music. It's all the, R&B crap, the, EDM crap,
EDM house.
or country.
That's all the three that they have
You
programmed.
know, that's because the last time when Melinda and CJ and I went to the silent disco, you went to bed. That night, it was 80s music. It was house 80s music.
It was more like
or
90s.
EDM
It was a little
80s
more
music.
90s-y than 80s-y.
But it was still 80s.
It was good music.
still a bit older stuff. Yeah.
You know me, I have to have my Ryan Parker days on the cruise ships and Ryan Parker nights on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what that is, that's me doing nothing.
So every time we say we need a Ryan Parker day, that's what that means.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Not going to the store, not going outside if that's not what I feel like doing. It could be 13 hours of me playing Assassin's Creed.
Mhm.
You never know.
It has been in the past.
I was going to say, it definitely has been 13 hours of Assassin's Creed. There's nothing wrong with that.
Or wait, 24-hour marathons almost of Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good time. We all enjoyed that Ryan Parker day.
That was a good Ryan. That was one of the better Ryan Parker days.
Yeah.
Minecraft. All right. Well, we're starting to wind down here. So what's going to be our last topic before we close out the poll and shut her down?
What is your tradition on your morning of embarkation or debarkation? What is your tradition that you do in the last day?
Hurry up, grab your stuff, grab a coffee, and get off.
Some of us have to go back to work.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so pre CJ and Christine, this is what Ryan and I used to do. We literally would be one of the last people off the ship when they started calling our names, because we were getting every minute in that we paid for.
Yep. We would eat breakfast very, very slow, sit out on deck,
Drink our coffee.
drink our coffee, look
Get a
over,
second coffee to go.
get a second coffee. And literally when it was like, all right, you need to get off the ship, we finally got up and would leave.
It was so easy to find our luggage.
True.
I have one more tradition I just remembered.
Okay.
I try to be the first person at the coffee bar every day.
Unless I beat you there.
Or sometimes Linda beats me. But that is part of my tradition, because on last day, while he's sleeping, I will get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, have a cup of coffee, have a second cup of coffee, and grab a third to go.
They won't let you take it off the ship anymore.
No.
I had to down a coffee before I can get off the ship.
Yep.
Well,
Welcome
last
in, Cheryl.
hey, Cheryl.
We were talking about bananas earlier.
Yes, we were talking about how they were bad luck, technically, on fishing vessels specifically. because obviously all the cruise ships carry banana.
Bananas.
Banana.
Yes, they have no bananas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I am out. That's all I have.
So.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
I thought that was a fun topic, something different.
Oh, you have a tradition, whether it's cruising or travel, is full. But we'll just keep that one to ourselves.
Is that the one where I go on the balcony naked?
Well, that too.
Oh,
That too.
Is that because you packed all your clothes the night before?
Yeah,
And left them out?
exactly. I had to leave out clothes to leave the ship on.
I'm trying to think if I mean, other than we've kind of talked about our traditions. We like to unpack and get on day one.
Well, I
Just
like to
get
have my
there.
stuff organized so I can go have fun.
Yeah.
So
It's
if
organized when it goes in my suitcase 3 weeks before we leave.
whatever.
Sometimes
like- When we unpack and stuff. But a lot of times you don't get your stuff until later, so we'll just go and explore the ship. That's usually we do, explore the ship.
Mhm.
yeah.
I find food.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody eats when they get out.
Dude.
You know.
I guess usually one of my traditions is on day one I get soft serve ice cream as well. That's one of my traditions.
Yes, Lieutenant Ryan needs his ice cream.
Lieutenant Ryan, ice cream, chocolate ice cream, Lieutenant Ryan. It's usually one of mine.
We
Yes.
should start calling him Private Ryan.
Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
The only
Saving
thing
him
that
ice
can make me survive is chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's close out this poll. And
right.
let's see what we've got as far as the traditions that we were talking about today, and superstitions, I should say.
My foot is a prune, guys.
All right, so again, the question was, which of these cruise superstitions have you heard of before? We actually had 62% that said none of the superstitions we talked about at the beginning.
Wow.
They had not heard of them. You had 25% that had heard of the no bananas on board. You had 12% that knew about avoiding deck 13, but nobody had heard of the don't whistle on deck.
I told you that was news to me. I'd never heard of that either.
I didn't either. So when I was doing the research, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
So that was pretty cool to learn, though.
I agree. That was pretty cool. All right, so a couple of reminders. We said at the beginning, and we'll say it here as we wrap up.
Yep.
We are going to be part of the Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube vlog marathon.
Vlogathon.
The vlogathon.
The vlogathon.
Our segment will be 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time this Saturday.
Saturday the 26th.
Yep, the 26th.
Bring your coffee and donuts for us.
Yep, bring coffee
And your money.
and your money, because we're, again, all donations that are received go right to the HH4C. And our topic is basically going to be figuring out what shore excursions we're going to do for our July cruise for Mel and I, and then any addition excursions for CJ and Kristine for their Norway cruise.
And then obviously
That's
we'll
the
talk
time.
about,
We're just gonna fake it till we make it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then we'll talk up the foundation too.
Absolutely. So that's what we'll be doing this Saturday. So be sure to join us. And then starting next week, May 1st.
Yep.
Again, our time and day is changing. PKAT Chat will be on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So we're making that change due to some work conflicts to make sure that we can all still make it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I couldn't convince Pokemon to change their raid night for me. So.
I thought you knew like the top honcho people over there.
No, they sold to that. They just sold. Niantic sold it to Scopefly, another game company. So everything's up in question. Future.
Yeah. Well.
All right.
Oh, and you're probably wondering why our music changed back for our intro. And that is because I don't have the paid version of that Sono that makes all the music. And paying a subscription for only an intro song was not going to be worth it for us. So we went back to our Epidemic Sound one that Melly spent like hours combing through Epidemic Sound to find. So
Music's important.
it is. That's her thing. But anyway,
Wait, Kristine had something.
wait, Kristine had something?
What did I have?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess you had this look that like you wanted to say something, that I guess is what Mel's thinking.
Oh.
Oh no, I've got a husband drive me crazy over here.
Oh yeah, you got your cast off.
I do.
Yes.
I have my cast off, and I am officially in Das Boot.
Das Boot.
That's cool.
Das Boot.
I would
That's
drink just one.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right.
All right.
Well, that does it then for this episode of PKAT Chat. If you're here watching the replay and you made it through the end, yes!
Congratulations for putting up.
Congratulations. Give us a hashtag, replay.
See you Saturday.
See you Saturday. Yep, bring your coffee, donuts, and your money.
Yep. Oh, and then we got Jeremy. We can still welcome it in right at the end here.
Do you want a banana? Peel it down.
Banana. Chicken. Banana.
All right, everybody. We'll see you again on Saturday. Have a wonderful evening, and we love you guys.
Bye.